this in case someone finds me. My name is Sarah Thompson. I'm an American student traveling alone in Japan. I'm locked in a closet somewhere in a place called Kisaragi Station. Please, if anyone hears this, I need help.
It all started a few days ago. I was so excited to explore Japan beyond the typical tourist spots. Tokyo was amazing. The lights, the people, the energy, but I wanted to see something different, something off the beaten path. I started my day at the Shibuya crossing. It's even more chaotic and amazing in person than in the videos. I got some great shots and even managed to take a selfie without getting trampled. After that, I headed over to the Asakusa district to see the Sensoji Temple. The architecture is breathtaking, and the atmosphere is so serene despite the number of people there. I drew a fortune slip. Unfortunately, it was a bad one, so I tied it up at the temple like you're supposed to. Fingers crossed that turns my luck around. While wandering through the side streets filled with tiny shops and food stalls, I met this interesting couple, Aiko and Daisuke. They were dressed in a mix of traditional kimono and modern fashion, which was super cool. They noticed me admiring some handcrafted souvenirs and struck up a conversation. We chatted for a bit, and they seemed really intrigued that I was traveling alone. Aiko asked if I was interested in experiencing parts of Japan that most tourists never see. Of course, I said yes. That's exactly what I'm here for. She mentioned a place called Kisaragi Station. She said it's a hidden spot not found in any guidebooks where you can see the real Japan. Daisuke gave her a subtle look when she brought it up, almost like he was uncomfortable. I asked them how to get there, and they told me to take the last train from platform 7 at Shinjuku Station. Aiko said it's a bit of a journey, but assured me it would be an unforgettable experience. When I asked for more specifics, she just smiled and said, "It's better if you discover it for yourself." Daisuke finally spoke up and said, "Be cautious. Sometimes the most memorable experiences are the ones we aren't prepared for." They both exchanged this knowing glance. Before I could ask anything else, they said they had to meet some friends and disappeared into the crowd. It was such a strange encounter. I tried looking up Kisaragi Station on my phone, but there's nothing about it online. Maybe it's one of those secret local spots. Part of me is a little hesitant, especially given how cryptic they were, but another part of me is excited about the adventure. I think I'm going to check it out tonight. I mean, what's the point of traveling if you don't step out of your comfort zone, right? I'll keep recording and let you all know how it goes. I took the last train out tonight. There were only a few people on board, a couple of businessmen, an old woman who kept staring at me, and a few others scattered around. The old woman seemed uneasy. She kept glancing over, and eventually she got up and sat next to me. Her English wasn't very good, but she tried to warn me about Kisaragi Station. She looked scared, and she kept saying, "Don't get off there." I thought she was just superstitious or maybe confused. I wish I'd listened. The train started slowing down in the middle of nowhere. I looked out the window, and we were surrounded by fog. The electronic display showed garbled text, and then it flashed Kisaragi Station in Japanese characters. The doors opened, and without thinking, I got off the train. As soon as I stepped onto the platform, the doors closed behind me, and the train disappeared into the darkness. The station was deserted. No staff, passengers, just me. The fog was so thick I could barely see a few feet ahead. The air was heavy, and everything was eerily silent. I tried using my phone, but there was no signal. I thought maybe I'd explore a bit and find someone who could help. As I walked further, I felt like I was being watched. Shadows seemed to dart just beyond my line of sight. I told myself it was just my imagination, but the feeling wouldn't go away. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around, but no one was there. I laughed nervously, trying to shake off the fear. That's when I saw her. A woman standing at the far end of the platform, wearing a red coat and a surgical mask. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. I wasn't alone anymore. I called out to her, but she didn't respond. I walked closer and asked if she knew when the next train was coming, or if there was a phone I could use. She turned slowly to face me. She spoke in Japanese, repeating a phrase I didn't understand. "Watashi wa keirei." I fumbled with my translation app, but it wasn't working without internet. I remembered Kirei means pretty or beautiful, so I nodded and said, "Yes, you're pretty." She stepped closer, her movements unnaturally smooth. "Even now?" she asked, her voice echoing strangely. She began to remove her mask. I saw that her mouth was slit from ear to ear. She smiled at me, and it was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. I stumbled back, dropping my phone. I scrambled to pick it up and snapped a photo out of sheer panic. She started to laugh, a sound that didn't seem human. I found this closet and hid inside. I can still hear her footsteps outside, slow and deliberate. Sometimes she whispers my name. I don't know how she knows it. My heart feels like it's going to explode out of my chest. I keep replaying everything in my head, trying to make sense of it. I remember reading about urban legends in Japan, stories about spirits and vengeful ghosts. One of them was the Kuchisake-onna, the slit-mouthed woman. But that was just a story, right? She can't be real. None of this can be real. I think she's toying with me, enjoying my fear. My phone battery is dying. I've recorded everything I can. Photos, videos, this message. If anyone finds this, please believe me. I'm not crazy. This place, it shouldn't exist. It's like a trap, a place between worlds where she lures her victims. I tried praying, begging, screaming for help, but nothing changes. The fog outside is so thick, and the lights keep flickering. Sometimes I think I see shapes moving in the shadows, other figures trapped here like me. I thought I saw lights in the distance earlier, like a train approaching. I felt a flicker of hope and rushed back to the platform. But the train never stopped. It just passed by as if I wasn't even here. I banged on the windows, screaming for help. I don't feel real anymore. My hands are cold, and I can barely feel my heartbeat. Maybe this is what she wanted, to make me like her. If someone finds this phone, look through the photos and videos. You'll see I'm telling the truth. Please warn others not to come here. Stay away from Kisaragi Station. Stay away from her. Mom, Dad, if you hear this, I'm so sorry. I wanted to see the world to have an adventure. I love you much. Come looking for... She's...